Thanks for being here. This is my every Monday night show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Catherine Kaufman, and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my every Monday night show. So hey to Floriana, and hey to all you guys over here on Instagram. Thanks for joining me. Tonight's topic is going to be bodyguards and amulets, and we're going to go into first what is exactly the evil eye. So I'm glad to see all you guys are joining. Hey to Sharon, John, Chastity, Melissa, and Heather over here on Facebook. For those of you guys that are on my professional page, Catherine Kaufman, Psychic Medium TV, you will need, if you want to join the live chat, you need to hit the link in the description and head over here to the personal page. That's the only place that I do live chat on, besides over here on Instagram. Hey to Steven, thanks for joining me over here on Instagram. Shout out to Mary and Carrie and David. And Linda. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining me this evening. So we're going to go over protective charms and amulets. And I had to say this really quick before we get into our content, because I can't hide it anymore. You guys are going to see that I'm growing my gray out. And so I'm kind of tricolored right now. We have gray. We have, this is natural. This black streak is crazy and natural. Is that not cool? I feel like an episode of X-Men or something. But and then I have these Bride of Frankenstein streaks going on here. So I'm really I'm excited to see what this is gonna end up to be. But until all of this is grown out, you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. And we'll see how this comes out. Thanks for the hearts and the likes. I appreciate that. Hey to Jordan McKinney and Arthea. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, all right, let's start in our content, because we always never have enough time, and I'm figuring that we're not going to have enough time to go into the second half of this. So this is probably going to be a two-part series. If you guys have any questions at all, please put them in the comments down below, and I will try to address them as we go through the content. Hey to Richard over here on Instagram. Special shout out to Jim, Charlotte, Mindy, Soleil, and Beth, and Kara. Thanks for joining me. So what are amulets? What are bodyguards? Amulets have been in use for nearly 4,000 years. So we have documentation going back 4,000 years on the use of amulets and protective charms. Now, most are worn or carried on the body, but I did find in a lot of research that people who were agrarians and they had livestock would place the protective charms on their livestock to try to protect their property, their livelihood. So let's look at the words. The words that have been used are amulet, mascots, charms, and talismans. Okay. So the word mascot comes from a French term called mascotte, meaning a mask, or referring to a person or a thing that brought good luck. So I can see where the term mask would mean to protect or put some kind of barrier in between what was being protected and evil coming in. So hey to Angie, Megan, Joyce, and Dustin, Felicia Noble over here on Facebook. The word charm comes from the Latin word carmen, meaning song which relates to the uttering of magical chants And this led to a condition being enchanted or enchantment. So a lot of amulets or charms simply work because they've been enchanted or they've been imbued with a intention or a magical intent. So, meaning if the item was not enchanted, it would not work, or it would just be a normal item. The word talisman comes from the Greek word talisma, meaning consecrated object. And so the enchantment or the enchanting of the magical chant into the item is consecration of the object or thing. Objects imbued through a religious ritual. So really, religious rituals are a type of enchantment, or to enchant something, or to imbue it with magical properties. So these were, to these people, rituals that involved religious incantations to imbue that item with some kind of magical property or some kind of energetic property. Okay, so let's see. Let's go through the history of the evil eye, because most of these talismans, charms, and mascots were used because of the evil eye. Now, the evil eye does go back 4,000 years, okay? And it goes back through almost every single society on the planet. The symbology and the superstition of the evil eye is throughout the world. It retains largely to the same meaning no matter where the story is told. So no matter what the language derivation, no matter what the society, the basic meaning has always been the same, is that the evil eye is thought of as a look or a glance that is given to inflict harm or suffering of some kind of bad luck upon those that the evil eye is cast upon. It's a look that clearly states the intent of the person who is giving the look, that it is malevolent, okay? And that that person intends for something bad to happen, and that they are focusing out of pure malice or jealousy. Now, from the research that I did, most often the evil eye was elicited by a feeling of jealousy rather than pure malice. Again, if anybody has any questions, and just put them in the comments on my personal page, I'll be glad to answer those. So jealousy was more often the intent or the ideology behind the evil eye rather than pure malice. The earliest known evidence of using the evil eye goes back to Greece and Rome, and it was believed that the evil eye was the largest threat to anyone who had been praised too much, or received admiration, or received attention, or gained some kind of notoriety. Now, they thought that even if the person got notoriety and it was deserving, they were at risk for coming under attack of the evil eye. But that the admiration would also produce a state of the person feeling like they were too important, or too praised, or the admiration would inflate that person's ego. And so the evil eye was extremely risky in that type of situation. So the person would be so swollen with pride that that would bring about their own demise or their own doom. And that was believed to cause either physical illness or mental illness. And so it was really important for people who were receiving any type of praise or any type of admiration to make sure that they stayed within an humble and grounded energy level so that they did not become easy objects or prey to the evil eye. So they also believed in Greece that gods and goddesses were punishing those who had become too proud or too inflated with their own achievements, and that the goddesses or the gods would destroy them with the power of the evil eye. So that was pretty important, and I found that very, very interesting. And so the evil eye was to put them back to the level of a mortal in that instance. So we see widespread social ideas about and documentation about the evil eye. We see this in the Middle East, in Asia, in Europe, and Central America. And I'm going to kind of give you examples of how they thought about the evil eye back then. Some quick shout outs over here on Facebook to Sarah, Lee, Yasmin, Dana, Alicia, Kathy, Chas, Melusine, Robert, and Donna. Thanks for joining me this evening. Pleasure to have you here with me. By the way, this show is every single Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook. So there's lots more shows coming up and lots more content. Please tune in every Monday night. If you guys are fans of the show and you watch every Monday, go ahead and hit that share button on your timeline right now and let other people know about the show. The more the show grows, the better that is for me, and I do appreciate it very, very much. Okay, so back to the evil eye. Now, this was so interesting. In one of the Muslim books, it's called Book 26, the Prophet Muhammad had warned about the dangers of the evil eye and indicated that one must take a bath in order to counteract the effects of the evil eye's power. And I found that was very interesting because nowadays when we have some dark energy that's attached to us, or we have some dark attachment, I do have a salt cleansing bath that can be used to cleanse the aura of this dark energy or any kind of attachment. If any of you guys feel like you need this recipe for this particular bath that I have, I would gladly send this to you on Messenger free of charge. Please private message me and ask for it. I will gladly send it to you for free. Hey, over here on Instagram to Kimberly Felker. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so here's some more historical interesting stuff. Ashkenazic Jews also believe that excessive praise caused vulnerability to the evil eye, and they would repeat a Yiddish phrase, Kin and Nore, means no evil eye, in order to protect against it. So a lot of incantations and phrases were used to protect yourself against the evil eye, along with crossing yourself. And that was used against the evil eye in specific as well. The evil eye is a very powerful superstition in India, and Hinduism teaches that the evil eye is most powerful at which the body's energy gives off through the eyes. Okay, so they feel like the most powerful energy coming from the body is coming through the eyes, and if somebody uses that malevolently, it is an extremely powerful point. So, and this is just research, the Hindu sphere, that even an admirable eye can bring about ill luck, because that has a connotation of a little bit of jealousy. And so let's say in Hindu belief that one person has an extremely admirable outlook about another's cattle. Okay, because they refer to an admirable eye can bring about ill luck, resulting in the supply of milk from the cows drying up. Okay, so they didn't want anybody to comment too admirably about their cattle for fear of being subject to the evil eye. So what they would do is they would give the person who's commenting about their cattle some milk or some kind of milk product, so that they would, you know, satiate them and send them on their way, so that they wouldn't be subject to this evil eye. Now, the interesting thing about this that I found was that in Irish folklore, if you kind of crossed somebody or made somebody mad in the community and they wanted to devastate your cattle, because a lot of people earned money from milk products and cheese and butter in those days, they would, the person who was jealous or angry at the neighbor would put butter on the windowsill, or butter under the door latches, or butter on the farm's gate. And that was like a curse. And the curse was designed to cause the cows to dry up their milk. And it caused devastation to the family. Because then their production of butter and milk and cheese was discontinued. So I found that it was interesting that we have Irish folklore and Hindu things that are kind of coinciding, because in those two communities, cattle was so very important. And then also the Hindus believe that jealousy was at the root of the power of the evil eye, whether in the form of maliciousness or just an admirable, but they felt like the root cause or the root emotion was jealousy. So I did also find, this was interesting, that men are capable of casting an evil eye, but it's historically known that women are the most common sources of the evil eye glance. And this could have to do with women being more of a jealous nature. For this particular reason, and I found this very interesting, in South India, women would paint their eyelids black to protect themselves from the evil eye and to prevent themselves from eyeing another with the look. So they wanted to not only protect themselves, but also to prevent an accidental admirable stare to someone else. Let me check for any type of questions over here. Let me do a couple of more shout outs. Hey to Christy, Osborne Glass, Paulette Frost, Mary Cummins, Pam Lowe, Diana, J. Ross, and Timothy. Thanks for joining me this evening. Glad to have you here. So yeah, painting the eyelids black to protect them from the evil eye was implemented. Now, this was interesting in South America and Brazil. They have similar folklore and superstitions, but it's called the fat eye, not the evil eye. And so compliments which were sincere were not feared, but it was the compliments that the people felt were insincere or coming from a jealous nature that they were felt had the fat eye stare, and that actually put them at stake. Now, in Europe, the myth of the evil eye was also originated, but it was most often thought that witches were to blame for the evil eye look, or that witches only had the capability or the power of this evil eye. So in Europe, it was widely felt that it was not particularly born of jealousy, but that people who practiced witchcraft had a special power that came from the eye that was able to manifest and create what they wanted to see happen in whoever they cast it upon. So Diana says, my Italian family called it the evil eye. Absolutely, Diana. And I'm going to show some amulets here of the evil eye that, or the anti-evil eye. Let's go ahead and cut to that right now before we get into some more of the history of Europe. These are pendants that are worn classically to reflect the evil eye. And so this is one that comes from Turkey or Greece. I hope you guys can see it okay. There we go. Maybe if I put my hand behind it, it will focus a little bit better. Hope you can see that. And I'll show it over here to Instagram. So this is an anti-evil eye pendant that's most widely sold in Turkey and Greece. And we'll go into why in just a couple more minutes. But this is a cheaper version. The other one is a little bit more sturdy gold color, gold backing and stuff. And so these are just two samples of that. So the evil eye, for instance, Germans feared that those people with red eyes had the capability of the evil eye. And in Ireland, it was thought that those with squinty eyes were feared to have the evil eye or to be sorcerers. And let's see, Diana, you may find this interesting, but I did find some research in Italy. The unibrow, okay, was another sign that one or that person could cast the evil eye. So I thought that was very interesting, is that people with the unibrow were considered sorcerers and had the ability to cast the evil eye. Now, these traditions really didn't translate fully to America when we had all the immigrants come over. And so the evil eye was not really seen as horribly bad, but it was just seen as very impolite, and that that you needed to be wary of that person and their particular intentions. Thanks for the likes and the hearts. I do appreciate that. Okay, let me make sure I stay on track here. So the evil eye amulets, like I just showed you, are used in Greece. They also carried incense or carried a cross to protect against the evil eye. And new mothers would keep these items of protection under their pillows or on top of their heads or around their neck. And so these are the instruments or implements that they used, which I thought was really interesting. So the things that they used were red, black, or white string, a nail, like one single nail, gunpowder in a small bag, pieces of bread, a bag of salt, a bag of garlic, a ring of significance, and something with the color indigo blue, or a pair of silver buckles. So each of these objects held some kind of importance or meaning, which made it a good luck charm against the evil eye. For instance, gunpowder represented the fact that it gave the person ability to fight back against the evil eye, and a nail symbolized strength. The indigo powder, the indigo color held powder in the blue coloring, and salt was a symbol of preservation, strength, and cleansing. So this particular blue color, now I know this is not indigo. Okay, indigo is a lot darker than this, but it's translated into modern times, this particular color right here, which is kind of a dark sky blue color. So this is the particular color that's supposed to represent the indigo color. There are some darker amulets, and when we talk about, we're probably going to have to go into this on the second episode. We talk about the hand of Fatima. We're going to look at that too. But this is a combination of the anti-evil eye coloring in concentric circles, and also the hand of Fatima is kind of fashioned into this pendant as well. And in the second episode, we'll go over what exactly is the hand of Fatima. It's also called Hasma hand. I do want to, before we have to go, I do want to show you guys this book. This is an excellent book to get if you want to find out anything more about amulets and bodyguards. This is an excellent book to get. And the name is Desmond Morris, because over here on Instagram, everything is going to be backwards. But this is a book by Desmond Morris. It's called Bodyguards, Protective Amulets and Charms. This is an excellent book to get. It goes into a lot of detail and a lot of history about all of these amulets in all different areas of the world, you know, right down to garlic. This has been a really fascinating read, and here's another example of the hand of Fatima right here. So we're going to go over the rest of this in part 2. So part 2 on next Monday, we're going to go over how to protect yourself from the evil eye remedies, the evil eye in modern life, and we're going to go into some more different kinds of specific amulets and how to enchant them or how to imbue them with these special properties. But for now, that's all for this evening. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that share button. Share this with your friends. Hit see first on notifications so that you can find out when all these episodes of Monday Night Live are, right here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you guys next Monday night. Take care.